How does an executive order from the Oval Office change the landscape of American education? Let's dive in. President Donald Trump recently issued an audacious executive order aiming to dismantle the Department of Education. This action is rooted in the belief that education authority should return to the states and local communities, shifting away from federal control, which has been criticized for its low academic performance and bureaucratic inefficiencies. This bold move has sparked a storm of reactions, but what does it mean in practical terms? So, what happens when the Department of Education starts to dissolve? Well, it's like opening a Pandora's box of implications and potential impacts. Let's start with civil rights enforcement. The Department of Education plays a crucial role in safeguarding the rights of students, particularly those from marginalized communities. With the department's potential dissolution, there's a looming question mark over who will take up this mantle. Then, there's data collection and research in education. These are key components in shaping policies and understanding trends in the educational landscape. The absence of a centralized authority could lead to a fragmented approach, possibly affecting the quality and consistency of data. Next up, federal student loans. The Department of Education manages a gargantuan budget, including funding for these loans. If the department dissolves, there's an undercurrent of concern about what happens to these loans. Could they be transferred to other agencies? And if so, how would this impact the students relying on them? And let's not forget about the funding for K-12 schools and programs for low-income and disabled students. These initiatives depend heavily on the Department of Education. Its potential dissolution could disrupt the flow of resources and support to these crucial areas. But here's the kicker. The future of the Education Department is still up in the air. Congress would need to approve any significant changes. So while the executive order has set the stage, the final act is yet to be played out. The landscape of American education could be on the brink of a major transformation. And that, my friends, is the long and short of it. A decision this monumental has not gone unnoticed. The executive order has elicited a range of reactions from various quarters. On one hand, we see support from some of the top school officials in states like Arizona, who seem to welcome the idea of returning education authority to a more local level. They believe this could be a step towards more personalized and effective education programs, tailored to the specific needs of their communities. On the other hand, Democrats and student organizations have voiced their concerns, fearing the potential undermining of public schools and legal protections for students. They worry that without the oversight and support of a federal body, there could be disparities in education quality across states. Moreover, the question of how key programs, such as student loans and grants for lower-income communities, will be managed in the absence of a centralized department is causing apprehension. Student organizations, in particular, are anxious about the future of public education and student loan programs. They worry that the changes could lead to a lack of transparency and consistency in the management of these critical resources. As the nation watches, the fate of American education hangs in the balance.